I decided to get the platinum on Borderlands 2. Like many others, I have very fond memories of this game and have played it an unhealthy amount of times. Over the years, as I've gotten older, I've found out my enjoyment in video games has kind of shifted towards completing things and achieving everything that the game has set out, rather than just mindlessly gambling at Moxies or just playing the game on normal mode. I had never gone for this platinum before. I played it on PS3 a while back and haven't played the PS4 version, so I was curious to see what PSN Profile had to say about the trophy. I usually don't look at guides before I play the game. I typically just look at, the amount of playthroughs, the hours, the difficulty, but I won't look into the specifics. And according to PSN Profile, it was a 60-hour grind with 2 playthroughs and only a 4 out of 10 difficulty, so that kind of sets the standard for what we're expecting. Claptrap got his face ripped out by this big blue bullymong called Knuckledragger, or Blue Hulk, whatever you want to call him. So I went over to this locker and got my very first gun, and guess what? It was free! We got to the nearest town for him to get fixed, but then the nearest civilian fixed him and then punched him. He punched him so hard that he killed Claptrap, but I just had to do my best to move on and forget about it. After I got over the loss of Claptrap, I turned in some side quests to Sir Hammerlock and got the achievement for becoming level 5, and he asked me one of the strangest questions I've ever been asked by anybody.
Would you like to do battle with a midget riding piggyback on a bullymong?
Huh?
I got rid of this bully that used to beat up Claptrap, and then the ghost of Claptrap talked to me afterwards. Luckily for me, Ghost Claptrap was nice enough to give us his old ship, since he won't be needing it anymore. I also got an achievement for killing that dude I mentioned earlier. His name was Flint. Yeah. I went to the nearest town to put a vibrator in their space pod in order to power the city, and then the trophy mentioned a Carrie Underwood song. Once I got into the city after powering it with my toy, Roland left me a cringy note telling me he needed my help or whatever. I don't really remember. I wasn't paying attention. So instead of finding Kevin Hart, I found Kevin Hart's girlfriend, who told me I need to go to the sewers to find him. He probably fell down a toilet or something. I then gave some purple rocks to your average citizen in Detroit, and he gave me some upgrades for my ammo, so that's pretty nice. Also, I released some fireworks on wildlife, which wasn't suggested to me by the local park ranger, but it got me to level 10, so I'm sure he doesn't really know what he's talking about. I made it out to the other side of the sewers where there was a bunch of robots, and Kevin Hart was hiding behind a constructor, and when I found him, he told me to head on back to Sanctuary, where we could meet up and discuss further plans of whatever short kings do. He had me meet up with one of his old friends, Tina, who spent her time doing wholesome activities like knitting and cooking. Then I had to fight Wilhelm, who most certainly would be a test of will, strength, and...
Soldier, I'm sorry, but you can't handle Wilhelm. Trust me.
Kid, Wilhelm nearly killed us.
You killed Wilhelm? Holy hell.
After barely making it out alive, the Rose toy died, so I had to replace it with the new one that I just got from Wilhelm.
As much as I hate using the Imperial tech, that cord you brought us earlier is nearly burnt up.
Burnt up? Brother, you're not supposed to use it that hard. Anyway, it turns out the one that I put back in there was a dud, and they all got mad at me and kicked me out of Sanctuary, so I had to find my way back because they got so mad that they put it up in the sky. That's how mad they were about how ineffective that toy was. On my way back, I found a constructor, and upon destroying that destructor, it gave me an achievement for it, so I won't say no to that. Shortly after this, I had used enough of something called a badass token, and it's basically just permanent upgrades to your character, and I'd used enough of them to trigger a trophy for it. After reuniting with my friends in the sky, that aren't imaginary this time, I got an achievement, and they welcomed me back with open arms, even though I severely disappointed them last time I tried to give them something. I went to go find this bird named Bloodwing, who's Mordecai's bird. Mordecai's an alcoholic, by the way. And on my way there, I found a bunch of bad guys that I got rid of, and they gave me some skins and heads, which gave me an achievement for my character. Anyways, after I locked in and went to go save the big bird, it didn't really go as planned. The loss of this bird put me in a dark place, so I called upon the ghost of Claptrap to give me a high five one more time and a good achievement. Then I got an achievement for telling Kevin Hart that Big Bird died. As a matter of fact, the grief struck me so hard I shot this guy in the face and he didn't even ask for it. Oh, and I found this super giga chad named Brick. And with the whole crew together, minus Bloodwing of course, I'm sure we'd be able to do great things together with the power of friendship and guns. So basically what we needed to do together was infiltrate this place called the Bunker so we could find this girl named Angel because apparently everybody's horny and wants to save her. Well, the thing is, we need to sound like Handsome Jack, so naturally we need a voice modulator, and we can't use Bumblebee's because his broke during the War of Cybertron, so we need to go kill Handsome Jack's body double in order to get it. So after a little bit of dilly-dallying, as one might say, we show up back to Sanctuary with the voice modulator, and we sound just like Handsome Jack. So anyways, we find Angel eventually, and then she dies. Oh, and Kevin Hart dies too. And then when I tell Mordecai all of the stuff he missed out on, he gives me a trophy for it because he's cool like that. I then get through one of the worst parts in the game called Sawtooth Cauldron. Nobody likes this part of the game, nobody will tell you it's a good part of the game, and everybody hates it. So I'm not even going to show you what happened there. What happens in Sawtooth Cauldron stays in Sawtooth Cauldron, but not in a good way, because I'd rather not talk about it. I did get a trophy after completing it though, so that's the only notable thing about it. I also killed the local weather boy named Hunter Hellquist because he was spreading false propaganda about people, and that got me to level 25, which got me this level achievement. I also went off on a little adventure to get some data, or data, depending on how you say it, and then I got an achievement for that too. There was also this like weird dude wearing a mask, and he kept yapping about something. I don't remember what it was. Then Kevin Hart's girlfriend was next to him, and she looked like she was kind of shy. So I did the only sensible thing any person would do in this situation, and I just blew his shit smooth off. After I shot the dude, I decided to take all the money out of his wallet and give it to the nearest hooker in Sanctuary, which also gave me an achievement, but I wasn't doing it for an achievement. Anyways, that's all the story trophies out of the way. Now it's time for the real grind to begin. Decked Out was for having purple or better at every slot. After a long while of grinding, I did end up getting level 50, which is the max level achievement there is in the game. This next one was pretty lame. I wasn't a big fan. It's called World Traveler, and you have to visit every single section on every map in the entire world of Borderlands 2. It sounds a lot simpler than it was because, you know, if you're missing some parts of it, there's no way to tell what you're missing. You just got to go to every map and get every part of every map figured out. Wasn't too bad, but I wasn't a fan. There's also an achievement here for finding the double rainbow, which is a reference to something that I don't know and I don't really care to look up right now. There's an achievement for ranking a Goliath all the way up and then beating it, which gives you the Goliath Meet David trophy. But fortunately, I didn't have to take him out with a slingshot, which was nice. There's a trophy for throwing your gun at a bat and blowing it up, which is, I mean, pretty cool. I mean, you can't really say that's not a cool trophy. You throw a gun at a bat till it blows up. I don't think you can get any more American than that.
USA! USA! Hell yeah! I'm bombing like 4 countries tomorrow!
Definitely an Italian plumber is a reference to The Legend of Zelda because you're killing King Mong. And, yeah. It's kind of like Donkey Kong from, Luigi's Mansion. Went 5 rounds is a sexual joke that you get for completing 5 rounds of a slaughterhouse that Moxie created, because Moxie created 3 slaughterhouses. Unseen Predator is an achievement that you get for being in deception for over 15 seconds, or for being in any position of power in the United States government. So you're probably wondering who I played as this entire time. I played as Zero because he's the coolest Vault Hunter in my opinion, and my opinion is correct, so that means he's the coolest Vault Hunter. But there's actually an achievement that you can get from every Vault Hunter, specifically from that Vault Hunter, so we're going to go ahead and go through those right now. So Much Blood is for gun zerking for a certain amount of time. Saber Rattler is for getting a certain amount of kills with the turret. I don't remember, I think it was 50 or 100. And Phased and Confused is for phase locking a certain amount of enemies. Challenge Accepted was by far one of the worst trophies in this game to get. There's specific challenges you have to do with all sorts of guns and stuff. It's not necessarily difficult, but if you go through your gameplay and missing most of them, it just is it's not fun to go back and get all. And there's a trophy for killing this giant squid monster thing called Pteramorphus, and he's got a lot of, like, tentacles if you couldn't tell. After turning in the quest, so it's a side quest that includes taking down Pteramorphus, I will have finished all the side quests in which I get the achievement for doing so. Oh, there's also an achievement for taking out what's called a tubby or chubby, and no, I'm not being mean, that's literally what they're called. And my last trophy to get was to wait for a guy named Michael, who the developers actually put in the game to pay dues to a fan of Borderlands who died before the game was able to come out, so he's more immortalized in the game, which I think is very cool. And yeah, in doing so, we get the platinum for Borderlands 2. And we make Claptrap proud, because he would be happy if he was alive to see this. If you guys have gotten to this far into the video, it would be a huge favor to me if you could like and subscribe and comment on the video with what you want to see next and anything you have to say about the run and the video. It really does mean a lot to see your guys' support on videos like this, and I'm not a very big creator, so it takes a good bit of effort to get these videos out for you guys, especially how busy I am with my personal life. So yeah, any support goes a long way. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. If not, I'm probably going to start doing the Resident Evil series. Like I mentioned Resident Evil 4 in that post earlier. Probably going to do that one next. But yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, like and subscribe. And yeah, I love making these videos, and I'll be back whenever I can with the next video.